Hey y'all, it's Santana, aka Tana's Book Diary, and I'm back with another video. Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a great start to your year. I hope 2026 is going to be a great one for you. I hope it's great for me. This last year has been kind of up and down, very transformative, but all in all, a lot emotionally, but I'm glad to make it to 2026. And I hope, this year is just as transformative, but hopefully emotionally it's not as tumultuous as it was for me in 2025. I wanted to give you guys like a look into my 2026 bookish goals. I am very excited to kind of see what I can do this year. Last year was a success. I read 75 books. I read mostly Black and brown authors. And I think I expanded a lot of my bookish taste, but I hope this year I can continue to expand and grow as a reader. I created a list, which you might see me looking down a couple times because I have it in my notes on my computer, but it's a fairly short list, but I think it's very impactful, like each thing I want to do. But feel free down below in the comments to share your bookish goals or your 2026 goals, period, if you want. I am very interested to see what you guys have. So yeah, let me get into it. I do not want you to wait any longer. The first goal I have for 2026 is to read 50 books. I don't want to stress about the numerical goal too much, but 50 is my goal. Last year, in previous years, I always kind of increased by 5 or 10 books. So last year was 75, the year before was 65. And so this year I wanted to go back to 50 and not worry too much, because towards the end of 2025, I was stressing about getting to 75. And I was reading books that I didn't really care for, that I didn't really feel compelled to read, but I read it because I wanted to get to that numerical goal. Having the good reads and the story graphs constantly reminding you how far or behind you are in your goal also kind of stressed me out. And I don't want reading to feel like a hassle. I don't want it to feel like a chore. I don't want it to feel like if I don't do it, I failed. So I did 50. I feel like 50 is a reasonable goal for myself, and I feel like it's very achievable. So once I get to 50, anything else after that is just a cherry on the top, you know what I mean? My next one is I want to get through my physical book collection. Behind me is my bookcase, and I want to say 50% of it I have read, 50% I haven't. So I hope to get through my physical book collection. And with that as like a segue, I want to lean more into my mood and not restrict myself to a TBR. With the TBR, I feel very, again, confined. I've realized within this last year that I am a mood reader, and I just want to embrace that. I'm just gonna see what I have and pick it up and read it. If I don't enjoy it, I'm gonna put it down and move on to the next thing, and hopefully I can come back to it. I want to get better also at DNFing or soft DNFing, so do not finish. I just want to read what moves me, read what inspires me, and not read just because I need to get to my goal or just because I started it, I have to finish. My next one is reading more intentionally. So kind of similar, just reading something that I truly want to read and not feeling because it's a hyped up book or because it's been on my TBR for so long, I need to read it. I've had it for so long, I need to get to it. I want to read it because I gravitate towards it, because it's keeping my attention, because it's educating me in some sort of way. And that goes into my two segues. So the first one is reading more Black classics. I've been getting into Toni Morrison within this last year, and I just want to continue reading her works. I want to read more Octavia E. Butler. I've read Parable of the Sower, but I want to read Parable of the Talents next. I want to read more Zora Neale Hurston. I want to just read a lot of the great Black authors, the classics this year. And then I also want to read more books that just bring enjoyment and educate me. I think I struggled last year of, again, just trying to meet that quota, that number goal, and not really looking at what I was reading and I can't remember what I read. I just know I got to 75. And I would much rather feel like I can tell you about each book I read, and it might be a low number that I read this year, but at least I can tell you about each and every book I read. I also want to go on a book buying ban up until May, which is my birthday, my birth month. And then, you know, I'll do a little splurge on myself for my 25th. But after that, I also want to go right back to a ban because I have so many books that I have in my collection that I have not read yet. And I do not want to continue adding to that collection of books I haven't read. I want to read what I have and then get myself books. Also, I want to, again, utilize my library more often. I have been really good at it, like through Libby. And I went to the library a lot last year, but I want to go even more. And I want to just take advantage of the collections that they have, the books that they offer, and not feel like I need to buy every single book. My next one is I want to write book reviews and answer reflective questions for a majority of my reads in a reading log journal. So this is my reading log journal that I actually was gifted by my aunt on Christmas. And I'm still in the process of writing about one of the books I just finished, which was Poverty by America. But this is kind of the layout. You write the book, and it goes up to 100 books. So I'll write the book, the genre, and then on this side, I'll write the title and just do a little review / reflection. And yeah, I just want to do that for all of the books I read this year because I want to be able to remember what I read. And if someone asks me for a rec, I can give it to them and feel like it's a substantial recommendation and a good recap of the book. Oftentimes I'll say, oh yeah, I gave that book 5 stars or 4 stars. And then I'm like blanking on what the main plot point was of the book. And I don't like that. Like, I don't mind forgetting character names, but forgetting whole plot points is crazy. And so with these reflective questions and reviews, I hope to just be able to remember majority, if not all of the books I am reading. My next one is I want to make more bookish friends. Last year, I think I did really good at just going out and putting myself out there. But I would like to make some more friends who read and like similar things and make content maybe, and just want to hang out and do bookish things. I think that's definitely a goal of mine, just to be also more social, like a personal goal, to be more social, put myself out there. I can be very cooped up, especially now like living alone, and I can be very dependent on my core people, and I just want to expand my circle. My next one is attending more bookish events. So I hope attending more bookish events can mean I can make some more bookish friends. Last year was really great. I think I really did a good job at going to book swaps and book festivals and book events. And it really did help having friends and family who were also into reading. So like my mom and my cousin Azaria and my friend Haley, my friend Shania, like going to the library, going to these book events and swaps. Like, it was just really fun to be able to do it with someone else who also enjoys or is getting into reading. And then my last one is to join a book club. I have been very scared to do that because of the whole social aspect. And I know that there's virtual options and also in person, but I'm someone who wants to have that in-person connection with people and to talk about books. So I hope that this year is the year I can like put myself out there, join a book club, and really be consistent in that. It's just really like, this has been an interesting year for me because I am by myself. And I'm not far away from any of my friends or family. So it's not that that is the issue itself, but being secluded and not having community all the time, or as accessible as it is to go downstairs and see them, it just means being more intentional about putting myself out there and recognizing when, okay, I've been home all week and I haven't really talked to anyone. Let's do something. So I hope even a book club, whether it's virtual or in person, can just get me kind of out of my shell, talking to people more, people who have similar mindsets and interests as me is my goal. But yeah, that is all of my bookish goals for 2026. It's a short list, but I think it's a very like achievable, doable goals list. And I hope to be able to make a video at the end of this year checking off what I did accomplish. Let me know down below what your bookish goals are and let's chat. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.